everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. I'm Whitney Ward.
Good evening. I'm Mark Hanrahan. We want to get straight to some breaking news at this hour. The number of coronavirus cases linked to an outbreak at Borracho Tacos and Tequileria in downtown Spokane has now grown to 46. The Spokane Regional Health District announced today the number of cases linked to the outbreak has increased as contact tracing has been completed. In the meantime, there were 70 new coronavirus cases in Spokane today. 41 of those new cases, more than half, linked to people between the ages of 20 and 39 years old. Nearly 44% of total cases in Spokane County are also linked to the 20 to 39 age group. There are currently 19 people hospitalized from Spokane County. Another big story tonight: starting early next week, businesses can no longer serve customers who are not wearing a face covering. The governor says the new rule goes into effect on Tuesday. He says this mandate was issued due to the increasing number of cases statewide. And this is to keep businesses open while preventing more cases. The new mask mandate is an expansion to an order that was issued in Yakima County. The governor also announced a 2-week pause on all applications to advance to the next phases.
So even if a person doesn't really care about their own health, this masking requirement means we're all going to protect each other. And I think that's very Washingtonian.
Governor Inslee says bars are still allowed to start back up in phase 3 of the reopening plan, but they won't be allowed to have bar seating. Customers will still be able to sit down at tables in those establishments. For more information on the new mandate, just text the word masks to 509-448-2000 and we'll send a link directly to your phone. Meantime, local pediatricians are concerned about play dates and the spread of coronavirus. As we head into the 4th of July weekend, health leaders are cautioning families to practice social distancing as much as possible. KREM 2's Tim Pham is live at Riverfront Park. And Tim, normally there'd be a big show there, but that is not the case this year.
No, not this year, Mark. There's typically about 20,000 people that show up to downtown Spokane to watch that firework display, but that show is canceled. Now there's new options this year as coronavirus concerns grow in the community.
The way we celebrate nowadays is changing, but a picnic date at Riverfront Park isn't something new for the Sconces, celebrating nearly 4 decades of marriage.
37 years, by God's grace. She's been very gracious to put up with me for that long.
The 4th of July has always been a special holiday for them, but this year, amid the pandemic, it will look a little different. The virus is rapidly spreading, and now pediatricians are noticing a spike in younger people too.
We had so many phone calls of parents worried, friends worried, kids worried and crying, feel like they made the wrong choice.
New data from the Spokane Regional Health District shows of the confirmed cases, about 600 of them are 29 years old or younger. Doctors with Spokane Pediatrics says the drastic increase is something they want all parents to be aware of.
I think it was a combination of socialization after Memorial Day, and in general those kids are just, wanting to get together and see each other.
As we head into the 4th of July weekend, doctors say everyone, including kids, need to social distance and wear a mask.
It's so tempting when kids get together to get them all playing, but this is right now when individuals need it and our community needs it to stay healthy.
In Spokane, instead of one large show downtown, the city is partnering to put on 4 drive-in shows across the city.
We ask that you stay in your vehicle during the event. The fireworks will be an awesome show, and then we'll escort everybody out of the facility to really limit any potential contact between our guests.
No large gatherings are allowed downtown. Park rangers will break up people who try to congregate near the river.
Our full-time staff or park rangers will say, hey, listen, we're not having fireworks this year. Here's the locations where you can go. Here's the protocols that we're asking.
It's not the traditional 4th families like the Sconces planned for, but the meaning behind the day hasn't changed.
So many gave their lives. We love to watch Patriot, and the cost to give us this freedom, and we don't want to turn it away. We want to keep that freedom.
If you're looking for ways to safely celebrate the 4th of July this weekend, you can text the word fireworks to 509-448-2000, and we'll send you a link of all the great activities happening in the Inland Northwest. Reporting live in Spokane, I'm Tim Pham, KREM 2 News.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. And starting today, if you live in Moscow, you have to start wearing a mask. Idaho does not have a state mandate, but the city is doing this to help prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Under the new rule, you have to wear a face covering in any indoor or outdoor public setting where social distancing isn't possible. The mandate was set after the number of cases in Latah County doubled over the last week. Mayor Bill Lambert says any person who knowingly violates the order may be charged with a misdemeanor. The maximum penalties are up to 6 months in the county jail and a $1,000 fine. And Whitney, as schools across the inland Northwest scramble to figure out what school is going to look like in the fall, one organization is thriving.
Absolutely right, Mark. So K-12 operates 4 virtual schools here across Washington and Idaho. All of them right now are seeing just incredibly explosive growth when it comes to enrollment. So, for example, it's up 20% in Idaho, more than 30% in Washington. So I had a chance to talk with their regional vice president today, and we talked about why some families who have never thought about a virtual learning program before are suddenly giving them a second look.
A number of families were distraught, maybe less than thrilled last spring when their districts were thrown into basically crisis schooling, right? And through no fault of the districts. I mean, they hadn't planned to become fully virtual in the blink of an eye, right? But that's what happened. I think this leaves parents with looking at what their options are for their fall.
What kind of feedback are you getting from families right now?
And I think districts did the best that they could with the time period that they had to come up with solutions for their students. And for many districts, that meant finding a platform quickly. It meant how are they going to put the curriculum online? How are they going to train their teachers to deliver content when they weren't face-to-face with their students? So they, again, did the best they could, but it necessarily wasn't a smooth educational process. To contrast that with the virtual schools in Idaho and Washington Virtual Academy, Idaho Virtual Academy, those schools have been in existence for a number of years, really, 10, 12, 15 plus years, and have always been virtual programs. And so they know how to do this.
What about the American Academy of Pediatrics, which just came out this week saying that kids really do belong in a classroom setting?
Yeah, I did see that. There's a part of me that completely understands why they came out with that. And certainly that is going to be the best choice for maybe even the majority of families. But it may not be the best choice for all families based on different circumstances and needs. I think it's important for parents to have this option and a number of other options available because the needs of our children today are just so diverse. No 2 children are the same. They aren't in my household, and I'm sure they're not in any other household either. So some students just thrive in a brick and mortar school where they can be actively involved in sports and drama or whatever it might be. Other students, that may not be what's best for them.
A lot of times people have not had great positive associations with the idea of distance learning and virtual schooling. Has this kind of been a moment for you to highlight what you guys are capable of doing?
Yeah, I really think it has been. I think that this is a really important time in education. I'm sad that it's taken a national illness to get here, but I think the conversation we're having right now and how to best meet the needs of students in various educational settings is a really important one. And I'm glad that virtual education is a piece of it, and I hope that folks give it a chance.
And by the way, we did reach out to Spokane Public Schools as well. So K-12 actually does work with many local districts to provide some kind of digital-only curriculum for them. And SPS also said that they will also be providing an only digital platform for when kids go back to school in the fall. Again, they don't know exactly what it's all going to look like. They're still trying to figure all of that out, but they do want to make sure that parents have that also as an option in case they are worried about sending their kids back to an actual brick and mortar building. All right, let's move on to weather. Definitely feeling like the tide has turned, at least weather-wise. Even in the last half hour since I talked to Tom Sherry, the sun has come out here on the north side. The blue sky is definitely peeking through. Tom Sherry is loving it. I'm loving it. I think we're all loving it. We earned this sunshine, didn't we?
Oh boy, did we ever. I am solar powered and Feels so good. I thought the cloud cover would actually clear out a little bit earlier today, but better late than never. And this is what you can expect for the next couple of days and probably into most of next week. By the way, we're doing the barbecue forecast tonight. We're doing red, white, and blue burgers. Actually, red, white, and blue cheese burgers. Come with me, if you will, over here to the blue screen. We'll take you up on this camera right here. We'll show you what we've got going on as far as the radar is concerned. And as you can see, we've got no precipitation occurring anywhere. That is much different from what we saw yesterday. And we've warmed it up to 69 degrees. Last night on this broadcast, I said we'd have a high of 71 degrees. So we're getting close, right, at 69. So we'll see now with the blue sky and the sunshine. We've got a couple more hours of daytime heating. So your forecast is calling for decreasing clouds. We've seen that already. Look for an overnight low of about 50 degrees under mostly clear skies. Sunny and warm on your Friday with a daytime high of 78 degrees. We're heading into the Happy Birthday America weekend. We've got 79 on Saturday, Independence Day. We'll look for a daytime high of 80 on Sunday. And I'll tell you the best day to get out in your backyard and do a little grilling, my barbecue forecast, and your 7-day outlook coming up in a few minutes.
So very much looking forward to that, Tom Sherry. Thank you very much. All right, as businesses start to reopen, more and more people are actually heading back to work, which is great news. Let's take a look. 4.8 million jobs were added in June. That's according to the U.S. Labor Department, and better than expected numbers following May's increase of 2.7 million jobs added. The unemployment rate dropped to 11.1%. President Trump says this announcement proves that our economy is roaring back. Looking ahead, we want to give you a quick reminder that all Spokane County offices will be closed tomorrow in observance of the Independence Day holiday. So that means a lot of different buildings that you may traditionally go to will be closed, including the courthouse, the Public Safety Building, Public Works, and Veteran Services, among many others that will be closed. Also, vehicle licensing offices across Spokane County will be closed both tomorrow and Saturday. And we know there are a lot of 4th of July events that have been canceled this year, but there are some that are still happening. So Coeur d'Alene canceled its display, but there are 4 events in Spokane County that will give families an opportunity to watch a show from the safety of your own car. So here are the event locations: Ferris High School, Avista Stadium, Dwight Merkle, and Plants Ferry sports complexes. Now keep in mind, Riverfront Park is not going to hold that fireworks display as usual this year. Parking for all the fireworks shows, though, at those 4 other locations is going to start at 9 p.m. and then the fireworks start at 10. And if you do go to one of those displays, you've got to remember that you're going to have to stay in your vehicle the entire time. But if you would like more information about the fireworks displays here in our area, all you have to do is text the word fireworks to 509-448-2000 and we'll make sure to send you a link.